Hello.
All right, you can
Hello.
continue.
Hi,
Hello.
I'm so sorry I
No,
joined
no,
late.
that's okay. Till the time they have not
Okay.
arrived, it is all good.
Yes. So there is so much traffic in Mumbai. Okay. तो इतना लेट हुआ क्या बोलूं मैं एक्सपेक्टेड टाइम था आधा घंटा and it took more than 1 hour.
That's
हाय
traffic for you. Hey, am I?
गिव मी 5 मिनट्स कुछ थोड़ा अंदर पेट में कुछ डाल लेता हूँ
Just a quick thing. You can finish. I'll run a refresher by the time.
हाँ
After 15 minutes, I'll need you to be observer in a room which has two people.
परफेक्टली ओके नो प्रॉब्लम
Okay?
15 मिनट
So that you can be the observer there.
हम्म
Because I'm dividing the groups into three, so it will be good if you can be there as observer.
Dividing into
100% नो प्रॉब्लम
3 groups. अच्छा ओके हाँ.
Breakout rooms.
हाँ मैं बोली 3 groups
ऑलरेडी
कैसे
जो
हो
आपने
गया.
ब्रेकआउट रूम जो आपने बना रखे हैं वो ठीक है. दैट इज वेयर आई पुट देम.
ओके ओके
ओके.
ऐसे सरप्राइज प्लीज
नो
प्लीज
प्रॉब्लम
बाद में देना मुझे ऐसे सरप्राइज. ओके वेट.
Question: is it a persuasion? Do we use elevator pitch for persuading a customer?
No. No. No.
Someone said something. I could not hear you.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Is elevator pitch a persuasion tool? Do we use elevator pitch to persuade a customer?
No. We don't.
No.
Yeah. Elevator pitch is not a persuasion tool. It is only to create your relevance. Okay. Elevator pitch is not a persuasion tool. It is only for creating a relevance. Now, what are the 4 pillars of an elevator pitch? Who remembers this? There were 4 pillars which we spoke about.
The problem, and then
Okay.
you have to present the impact, and then the differentiator, and the last is
Yes.
call to action.
Fantastic. Problem, impact of the problem, differentiator, and a call to action. So if you want to remember it in simpler term, it is P for problem, I for impact, D for differentiator, and C for call to action. PIDC. You can remember a short acronym. P is problem, I is impact, D is differentiator, and C is call to action. So these are the 4 pillars of an elevator pitch. Is the elevator pitch same for all personas?
No.
No. Fantastic. Why is that?
Because
Why
different
is it not same
personas,
for all personas? Sorry, Roman, go ahead.
because no, you're good. Because different personas have different deliverables, or probably outcome that they're looking for from the business. So it's a bit slightly different when it comes to the impact.
Absolutely. Given they might have a different business issues and they might have a different impact, different KPIs, we will need to align our elevator pitches to a given persona whom we are talking to. So you can have an overall company elevator pitch, which defines the organization, but if you want to make it more impactful, you will have to align it to the persona. Okay. The last question: is the elevator pitch same as sales pitch?
No.
Now, what is the difference? What is the key difference between elevator pitch and a sales pitch from the purpose of it? What is the purpose of a sales pitch and what is the purpose of elevator pitch?
Sales pitch is more broader.
Okay.
Pitch is short. Sales pitch will come at the initial stages.
Okay.
So the sales pitch is basically providing probably a solution to an issue that was already closed down, discussed, and identified. And then the elevator pitch is basically just an introduction, probably to understand or open up the conversation to understand what exactly the customer is looking for.
Fair enough. But what is the purpose of each of them? What is the end goal for elevator pitch? What is the end goal for a sales pitch?
Sorry, I believe that in the elevator pitch, we have to get them interested on what we can offer, and on the sales pitch, they are like almost to buy it, the product or whatever we're
Yes.
offering.
Perfect. So sales pitch is intended at closing a deal. That is where you're looking for an order. Okay. On an elevator pitch, you're just trying to create the relevance, as all of you said it right. Okay. So sales pitch is intended to close a deal. That's when you're talking about getting an order. For an elevator pitch, you're just trying to create a relevance, interest, or trying to see what can you do with the customer more. Fair enough. Everyone is good with this. This is what we had covered till last time. Okay.
Yes.
Before we broke up from the session, we also spoke a little bit about what would happen if the customer is at an advanced buying stage and you enter late into the opportunity, which means customer is at selection of best or evaluation of option and you are entering the opportunity late. Okay. In that case, what would happen? Would your elevator pitch land on the customer typically? Or will a customer react the same way? This is where we were. What do you think? Customer is at selection of best or evaluation of options. And you're entering late in the opportunity. So how would an elevator pitch play out here? Come on.
She said they're at evaluating options, right?
Mhm.
And the question is, how does the elevator pitch align to that step?
Yeah. For example, let's take a simple example. You're buying a car. You have almost decided the brand and the model you're going to buy. And all of a sudden you get a call from a brand which was never into your evaluation. How would you react to the sales guy when he makes that first call to you? Because you have almost decided what you're going to buy. And then a new brand enters into the conversation all of a sudden. So how would you react to the sales guy's first call? Will you entertain him? Will you just try to duck him? Will you kind of get him involved immediately? How would you react? Think of it that way. I'm sure all of you have bought a car.
Yeah.
So think of
Actually,
it that way.
Pavan,
You're
to me,
almost about to give the money. Yeah, go ahead, Indo.
yeah, actually, for me, Pavan, looking into the customer's perspective, right? It would depend on, how that sales guy would, in a way, put his pitch. If he would be able to create relevance, and yes, I would probably be able to entertain him.
Perfect. So it depends on how do you come across to the customer, which means there is no straight answer that how will a customer react to the situation. Every customer is going to react differently, which means now your elevator pitch is going to get challenged. You all agree on that?
Yes.
At this
Yes.
stage, elevator pitch is going to lead to a different response from the customer than a standard response, right? So before we
Yes.
decode that, I have a small exercise for all of you to work on. Okay. Tina, we are good with the rules?
Yes, Pavan.
Okay, fantastic. So I'll just explain all of you an exercise, what we're going to do. Every room will have minimum 3 people. And there's one room with 2 people where Rama is going to join and play the third role. The 3 roles in the exercise are one of you is going to become a seller. The second team member is going to play the customer. And the third team member will play the observer. Okay. One team member is seller, one team member is customer, and third team member is observer. Scenario is seller. Whoever is playing a seller is making a first call to the customer. You're making a first call. You have had no interaction with the customer earlier. So seller is going to speak on the conversation as if they're meeting for the customer first time, or they're making a telephonic first call to the customer. The team member who is playing the customer is free to react in any way. Just behave as naturally as you see your customers behaving. Okay, sometimes they will give you space to talk, sometimes they will not give you space to talk, sometimes there will be resistance. So you will see all the scenarios, right? So play as natural as you can. Don't make it very easy for your colleague. Otherwise, there's going to be no learning. Okay, the objective is to learn that how do customers behave and how do we take it up from there. Fair enough, we are clear with the three roles. Observer is just going to look, I have given the entire detail on observer a little later. How will the timeline work? Seller will get 3 minutes to speak to the customer. Okay, your time window is just 3 minutes. In 3 minutes, you're free to pitch yourself. You're allowed to take the discussion forward. You're supposed to have any kind of conversation you can make. After 3 minutes, there's going to be a hard stop. Okay. Observer is going to take a time controller role. Observer will have to ensure after 3 minutes, seller stops talking. Now, observer is going to give a feedback of what happened on these 3 minutes. Between the customer and a seller, what exactly happened. So observer is going to observe on the below points. Did seller open the conversation in a traditional way, or did the seller leverage the elevator pitch? How did the call open? 1. Customer reaction to the seller pitch. How did the customer react? Were they open to hear it? They resisted, they reacted, what happened? What did seller do after the customer reaction? Okay. Did the customer find the conversation engaging? And is the seller able to take the conversation ahead in case of no reaction from the customer? These are the points which observer has to focus on. I'll take a pause. Is everyone clear with the exercise?
Yes.
Yes. Pavan, just like to ask, in terms of the seller, do we have any specific thing, or it depends on the seller or role player what product he or she will sell or pitch?
Anything. Seller is free to choose anything.
Okay.
A seller can choose whichever product, whichever pitch they want to take. Customer is free to react in the way they generally you get a reaction from the customer. Try to enact the way you see a reaction from the customer during the first conversation. Okay. Please remember it is a first conversation. So don't assume you have met the customer earlier or you're trying to upsell or cross-sell over here. Okay, there's a first conversation. You don't know the customer. That is more important. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to learn when you have never had an interaction with a customer, how will that go? That is the situation we are in.
So we're creating our own scenario base, right? I think that's what Dindo's asking.
Sorry, Roman?
So we're creating our own scenario base, correct?
Yes.
In the role
Yes.
play.
Absolutely. Seller is going to be free to create the scenario. Customer is free to react to that scenario. Observer is going to listen to that entire conversation very quietly and try to capture the attention on all the points which are listed at the bottom of the screen. After 3 minutes, the seller is going to stop talking. You get only 3 minutes to finish the call. Okay. After 3 minutes, observer is going to give a feedback to the seller. Once you're done, you're going to change the roles again. Okay. Which means every one of you will have to be a seller once. We are going to do this 3 times in a group. So everyone gets to be a seller, everyone gets to be a customer, and everyone gets to be an observer once. Fair? You're going to rotate the roles once you're done. We're good? Any questions? No?
The questions are good.
Okay, fantastic. I'll be jumping around the room. So if you have any queries, please reach out. Tina, can we open the rooms, please?
Pawan,
Yes.
I'm facing some issue on Zoom, so I'm just dropping off and rejoining within 30 seconds. Okay?
Yeah, sure. No problem.
All right. Thank you.
Tina, I can't see the breakout rooms.
Can you able to see now?
No.
Okay.
Let me
Okay, wait.
figure. No, I still cannot see the rooms.
We're waiting for the room, right? Okay, I'm seeing
Yeah,
it.
now I can see it. So I think you can open all the rooms.
Yes.
Okay, team, feel free to join into your respective rooms, and then we can start the exercise right there.
Okay. मैं कोर्स बना रही
Sam has not joined yet.
हूँ. No, Sam has joined. Uh, from another device, I guess. Other device. हाँ.
So he and Christina, there are only two people in that group. There is Dendo, June, and Romain, which is okay. Dandy and Jackie is again two. Okay. Amay, would you want to pick up this Dandy and Jackie wala room? Amay?
Amay, are you there?
Amay already went into that room. Such a parked Amay in this Dandy and Jackie wala.
Yes.
I will move into this Christina and Sam wala room.
Okay.
Okay, when Amay comes, please tell him to kind of move to that Galactic Cement.
Okay.
Amay
But
joined already.
he's on Galactic.
He has joined already. He has moved.
Yes.
So I am pushing myself to this one, Schedule Chaos.
Okay.
Okay, you want to take a break now? You can. After this, I'll pick it
Yes.
up. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Done. Hi, Pawan. One request. Just 1 minute. You are mute.
Yes, tell me. Sorry.
Okay, so मुझे ना नीचे थोड़ा खाना लेने जाना पड़ेगा, तो can I join from mobile?
No problem.
Okay,
You don't have to. You can take your time. That's fine.
चलेगा?
The next round of activity is quite a distance from here. Don't worry.
ठीक है,
Okay? You pick up your food and come. That's absolutely fine.
ठीक है. Okay, thank you.
Hi Pawan,
Sure.
2 rounds are done, huh?
हाँ,
You can close the rooms.
2 rounds. So third round चल रहा है ना मैं अभी.
हाँ मतलब मैं तीसरे राउंड में मैं सेलर नहीं बना, तो उनका 2 राउंड हो चुका था। तीसरा मैंने
हाँ,
उनको
so
और
let
एक
them
करने
play
को बोला,
one
10
more
days
round
रुकेंगे।
because जिनके 3 है उन लोगों का थोड़ा टाइम लग रहा है.
हाँ हाँ चलेगा चलेगा, ठीक है।
Okay. So I have written. I just dropped them a broadcast. Another 4 minutes we will close it.
Sure, I don't think I am able to rejoin that room. I don't know why. Can you
हाँ,
make me a
You
co-host?
want me to park you there?
I made you already co-host. Amay, you have, I think, rejoined.
हाँ, I
Which room you
rejoined.
were
Yeah,
in?
yeah.
Galactic, na?
Okay.
Yeah, I rejoined. Now I am able to. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay, take it. Sure.
फेल होने के लिए तैयार नहीं है तो फिर एक्सपेरिमेंट करने का मौका नहीं मिलेगा।
Ravan, you're on mute if you're talking, sorry.
Dandy Jackie, you guys are done playing both seller roles 1-1 each.
Sorry, what was the question? The
Both of
experience?
you, no, both of you finished playing the seller once.
Yep.
Yes,
And
we did.
then the custom.
Fantastic. I'm just closing all the rooms. So another 1 minute, everyone will be
Okay.
back. And we can start.
Okay.
We were having such a good conversation. Time went.
Us too.
I heard that conversation and it was really interesting. Romain.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Now a quick question to all of you. How many of you had a customer who did not object or react or ask questions? Did anyone have a customer who did not object or react?
Yes.
I did.
Not mine.
Yes. Okay. So the objective of the exercise for all of you was that every time we take an elevator pitch, there is going to be a customer reaction or observation, which means we need to be prepared for what is going to happen after we land an elevator pitch on the customer. Okay. And this is where we enter a part of conversation, which is objection handling. Now, objections will come in various form and shape as we move into a customer conversation, right? One of the most common form which you would see from the customer is indifference. How many of you have heard what is indifference? What do you mean by indifference?
Like not really interested or
Not
not
interested.
really paying attention, actually.
Absolutely. Right. So you're trying to reach out to a customer, they're in the middle of something, or they feel that, whatever you're having a conversation, they're not really keen on having that conversation with you right now. And that's what we call it as an indifference. When a customer is either happy with their current service, they are not looking for a change, or they believe they can handle this internally. Some of the examples are, these are the times when the customer is going to be indifferent. Going back to where we were, when you enter late into an opportunity, the first thing you will see from your customer is indifference. Because they are very close to making a decision. Okay, and I am referring to this part. If you enter late into the opportunity and take an elevator pitch, the first thing you will see from your customer is indifference, which is a form of objection what you're getting from the customer. Okay. They're just trying to say that, no, we are comfortable, we are very late, we already have vendors, we are not trying to look for anyone new. All of these are form of indifference. Now, let's look at if when you reach out to a customer and you end up with a scenario of indifference, what do you do? Okay. Before I answer that, I want you guys to read this. This is what I want you to read for a moment.
Or whatever my with my name and get a contact. But I've been very pleased to show my cell phone number. I was so si poder aquí con his number y delay or like that
Is everyone done reading?
Yes.
Yes.
How many of us have faced this kind of a scenario?
I did recently.
Yeah.
Do you face this?
Yep.
So what do you guys do when you are in a scenario like this, when the customer is being indifferent or just trying to kind of push you away? What do you do? What is that? How do you handle this today?
I think she said something very important there is that she's not the one finalizing partners, just helping with
Yes.
shortlisting. So in that case, I would try to get the correct contact. Like if you can give me, you know, who should I speak to, or and not keep
Right.
trying with her because at the end of the day, she's not the decision maker.
Yes, but she
Total
says I will check internally and let you know.
percentage কত আসছে? কমা 20-তে একটা 24-এ একটা 20-তে। Sorry guys, I was talking in my own language. I have a visitor here. Sorry.
Heard that.
Sam, I can understand whatever you are talking, huh?
I'm trying to close the deal.
Okay, guys, let's not deviate. Let's stick to the slide.
Yep.
Okay.
How would you react to a situation like this? What would you do here? If you're the seller in place of Ravi, how would you handle this?
But then for me, I would stop on the point where Tanya said, I would agree with um the who's that, Tina, right?
Cristina.
Tanya.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree with her.
Tanya.
That no, Tina, with what Tina had said about Tanya, where she says, "I'm not that one finalizing partners. I just
Yeah.
help with shortlisting." I would act on it differently, because what Ravi had done here is to
Hmm.
put pressure to Tanya,
Hmm.
even if Tanya is not, as what she said, the one who's doing the decision or the decision maker, right? But she put pressure to her on trying to 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 go inside that door, right? To step into that door. Um and so with that, basically it's all cascaded down. That the last thing it mentioned by Tanya, that sure, I'll check internally and let you know, that's basically closing the door to him.
Yeah.
So I would
Yeah.
rather, with what we shared, with what she said about, um, she's not a decision maker. She's just the one, just like a gatekeeper, right? Then I would agree with Christina and what she says. Like, identify where, at what stage they are in, and who's the decision maker, and then you go from there.
Okay. Fantastic. Okay. Christina, you raised your hand. Go ahead.
Yes. So another thing that I noticed is here they're saying that their issue was already stated in that tech conference, right? But that issue has not been acknowledged in anywhere in the conversation.
Fantastic. Yes.
So
Yeah, you're right.
that would be another.
Agreed with you, Christina. Yeah.
Dandy, over to you. You also raised your hand, please.
Oh yeah. When Tanya mentioned I'm just helping for shortlisting, I think from my at the back of my head, I would want to ask, okay, so Tanya, in terms of shortlisting, what do you want to look in a vendor? Do you have an existing
Hmm.
vendor? So I think those two questions are some questions that are very vital for me to understand more. And that creates a discussion further with Tanya, because the thing there was that in Ravis situation, he mentioned already that I can send you our service desk FX. So he's not even understanding yet the issue. So I wanted to
Oh,
to pivot in that conversation in that.
true. Fantastic, Dandy. That's important again. Jada, you also raised your hand. I don't see you right now.
Yeah, I'm here. Just wanna try. If I were to have the same scenario and I'm the
Hmm.
seller, I would definitely first I would definitely what I would definitely do is to reset the tone, because the
Hmm.
tone is really different. I mean, I wouldn't argue or push urgency, because this could probably do two things to Tanya. It lowers her guard and it signals that we're not desperate to sell at all. And then
Fair.
I definitely ask a strong discovery question. Instead of listing
Fantastic.
features, I'd go deep on one issue. Maybe I can, and now she has to think rather than to dismiss things, right? I'd mirror her words to go deeper because if, if she says that it caused some backlog, but we manage, when you say manage, does that usually mean that the team puts in extra hours or if the customers wait longer than you'd like? This gently exposes hidden costs. And then I'd
Fantastic.
qualify her influence without calling it out. Since you said that she's
Yes.
not the decision maker, I definitely lean into it and maybe, I would know how decisions are made. And maybe we could determine that she's a gatekeeper rather than a decision maker.
Fantastic. I
And
think
then I'll
all of your
definitely
inputs,
go
all of your
ahead.
inputs in classroom, it is like we call them a chocolate inputs. We generally give a piece of chocolate to everyone. So those were some great insights over there from all of you. Okay. So my apologies, it's virtual, so I can't give you a chocolate each of you virtually right now, but I'll move forward with that. Okay. This is where you
Okay.
actually, all of you guys brought up the same thing, what we're going to do next. When you have an indifferent customer, the first thing you do into conversation is acknowledge the indifference. You say, okay, fair enough. We understand what you're saying. So that's the first part. Acknowledge the indifference a customer is having. Second thing you do is you propose a limited fact or a situation-based agenda, which means now you're changing your course of conversation. Okay, so when Tanya says, okay, we don't know, as Jeda said, I would ask a discovery question. So now you're going to get into that mode of changing the course of the conversation where you're going to change the entire direction, where you say limited fact based, which means in the previous slide, if you go to, they have already said that they have a problem, which is delays and ticket. So now you would
Yes.
want to look into this part of the conversation, saying that when you say you have delay in ticket, what do you mean by this? What exactly is happening over here? Can you tell us what is the challenge you exactly are facing, right? Or a situation based that how much business loss is it causing you? Is it leading you to manpower issues? Or is it leading you to revenue issues? Where is it leading you to? So that's a limited fact-based or a situation-based agenda. Third, then you try to continue the conversation for a while to make the customer into the conversation and make them open up. Okay, this is where you start demonstrating yourself after you have made the customer speak for a while. Fair? And then you ask for an acceptance. Have we understood your problem right? Have we got the entire thing correctly? So when a customer is indifferent, you would want to change the course of the conversation towards a situation or a fact, whatever is known to you at that point. Okay. And then you try to continue for a while and check for the acceptance. Whatever you have uncovered as a fact or a situation, is it aligned to the customer business? That's the first part of when you get into a indifferent customer. Are we clear who is an indifferent customer? First of all, a customer who is resisting to our pitch, is trying to kind of either duck us, divert us, or evade us, and is showing no interest. That is an indifferent customer, and this is how we handle them. Okay, this is the first part. Now, when you look at a meeting plan, go back. Yes, Sam, please go ahead.
Yep, sorry. So can we also say a customer who give us a cold shoulder, like in my case when I was pitching, right? When Christina was not responding, after some time I was feeling like, is she listening to me, right? So that's the
Yes.
indication of indifferent, different customer, right? Who's
Yes,
not
that is also an
ready
indifferent
to listen
customer
to
for
you.
you now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
got it,
So
got
that's where you will ideally first acknowledge the indifference. That Christina, am I making sense to you?
it. Exactly.
Correct. So you take a pause. You don't go on for
Hmm.
continuously 2 to 3 minutes. You take a pause. You
Right.
ask, and you can say, no, this is not something which I'm looking at. And now you have a space to change the course of the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Correct. What happens is if you go for a non-stop pitch, for about 3-4 minutes, they have lost you after 30 to 45 seconds.
That's true. That's true.
If it is not resonating with them after 30 to 45 seconds, they have shut themselves down. And now you're losing credibility every moment you speak. So go back to the concept of credibility, which Amay spoke about in detail in your meeting planning workshop, So you were very clear about your groundwork. And every time you make something which is not relevant, you're starting to lose credibility there. So it's a good practice to take a pause, acknowledge the indifference, and then change the course of conversation as required. Correct. Now, if one of the conversation I heard, which was between Romain and June, June was trying really hard to get the point cut across, saying that, have I got it right? And Romain kept resisting to the point. He would not give her any confirmation that this is my problem. And he was being very genuine that I don't know, I have a problem, but I don't know, is it really big, small, or what is it? And I think June did a good job of continuing the conversation for a while and trying to again push for acceptance. Okay, so that is how it would look like. So June and Roman, that was a good conversation, by the way. Whatever I heard a part of it, it was a good conversation. So Roman exactly played a customer who has a problem, but also will not acknowledge it at the same time. He's just trying to go around it and circumvent the whole commitment to it. And that's where you have this problem. So now look at a meeting plan. How will it look? Go back to your sales call planners. This is a subset of a sales call planners, which was given to you as a part of the meeting preparation scenario. If a customer is very clear with a need, which is a green part of the screen right now, you will straight go to opening your conversation. You're going to get into a customer focused agenda because customer has acknowledged the need. And then you will seek a customer permission to continue the conversation. But in case the customer does not acknowledge your need, okay, first thing you will do is you will acknowledge the indifference. You will provide a new agenda based on the focused or situation, whatever is available to you. And then again, you will ask a permission. Is this a point you would like to discuss? So Sam, what you just asked, you could have probably taken a pause, ask Christina, is this making sense, or you have much bigger challenges which you would want to discuss about? Now, typically, Christina is going to respond to that question. And now you have got a new course, which is what could be my new agenda of the conversation. Which happened when Christina pitched you. You spoke about your specific issue of the dry skin, right? And she now have a new course of plan to stick onto it. So what could have happened is you could have taken a scenario saying that, okay, how long you're facing this issue? How deep it is? Have you tried solving it? Correct? Now that's where the course of the conversation changes largely. Is everyone clear with that? Indifferent customer, first thing you acknowledge the indifference. You leverage either the situation or the given problem and try to correct the course of conversation and bring in a new agenda into the conversation and then continue from there. Okay? And this is all happening on the fly. This is where the objections are really important to be planned. Okay, go back to your sales call planners and I'll show you that portion again where you will be actually trying to fill this up. So let's look at how to handle an indifferent customer. First thing you're going to do is you're going to ask circumstance question, which is, okay, why is this problem happening? A circumstance question, for example, okay? Why do you feel this is a problem for you? Current problem question, how big is this problem? Or why do you feel it is important for you to solve it? Consequence, what happens if you do not solve it today or in 3 months down the line? Confirm the need question, which is, have I got it right? And am I phrasing it correctly? Have I got your problem statement correctly? That's confirming the need. Clarifying questions, which is basically, I'm again re-verifying any part of the information which I have not got. Or a positive impact question which you want to use. Now, there's a certain sequence you will use it, but these are the variety of questions you can ask your customer. And the reason they have been given randomly, no sales conversation goes step by step. It's a dialogue. Please be assured that it's a dialogue and it goes very zigzag. So my first question could be circumstances, second could be confirming the need, third could be consequence. Okay, so this is a variety of questions you can ask your customer when you're handling an indifferent customer. Is everyone okay till here? We took a pause, we set a new agenda, we took a permission to continue, and now we are asking questions. Okay, so when we are now engaging with the customer all over again, with an indifferent customer. This is how your flow will look like typically when you go to an indifferent customer. You will first ask basic questions. For example, what are you currently doing about it? How are you dealing with it? Right? Then you go to a second part of it. If they have tried solving it, how is it working for them? If they have done anything about it, are you getting the results you're looking for? Go back to Tanya's scenario. They said they have a problem with the ticket. So your question would be, have you tried solving it? How well did it work for you? Then you go to the impact part of it, which is the effect. If you tried solving it and you could not solve it, how did it affect your business? Okay. And then you go towards confirming that if we solve this, are you ready to kind of take a decision on this now? Or do you have allocated resources to solve it today? Do you think it is a priority for your management to resolve it today? So an indifferent customer, you will have to first make them realize they have a problem, which is current situation. They're going to come back and resist saying that, no, we have tried solving it. And then you make them realize what happened. Did it work for you? If it didn't, then you're going to go to the effect of it. That how much money they're losing or what is the impact of the problem on their business in terms of loss. And then you reconfirm the need. Would it be helpful if we can solve it for you? Or is it a priority to solve this for you? If we jump too early into this with a solution, you would realize that at a later stage, customer would say, no, it is not my priority. A lot of times deals get slipped because you believe it is a customer priority and the deals don't move because it is not their priority. So the reason we are reconfirming the need at the end of it is to ensure that we have a clear view it is their priority. I'll take a pause. Does anyone have a question about this? Indifference is one of the most important thing in objection. This is the most common form of objection you will get. And I have kept it aside because it is very detailed, unlike any other objection. Okay, you will get a cold shoulder from a customer. You will get no response. We have a vendor. We are not looking for one. This is where you fit in this model largely. Any questions till now? Doable? Or is it too difficult in anyone's mind?
No, this is data.
Okay. Let's look at what will happen in the scenario like Tanya. If, they were supposed to follow this model, how would the conversation look like? Ravi could have asked questions. How are you currently managing your customer support across the location and time zones? Rather than pushing with a discount, I start with a current situation question. Are all the support channels being handled internally or partially being outsourced? Then Ravi could have gone to the second part of the question. Are your response times meeting the internal SLAs during the period, right? On a scale of 10, how confident are you of a certain volume spike? Very pertinent questions, which we are making them realize the problem is bigger than it is in your mind. Third is the impact. Has it really led to a customer trust issues or a renewals? Okay. And then you go, would it be valuable if I can give you a scalable model? So the pitching has to be whole. Go back to the 4 principles of a great sales call. The seller holds the pitching. You ask questions, you make the customer realize they have a problem, and then you pitch. This is no different. This is the same thing what we have seen in a meeting preparation conversation earlier. Do you think this will land better than the way Ravi did it earlier?
Yes.
Yep.
Correct. So we need to practice this. It is going to take a while, but this is doable. You just need to remember what is the current situation? Is it working? What is the effect of it? And then confirm the need with the customer. The second thing this does, it automatically enhances your credibility, by the way. Go back to the meeting planner again. This enhances your credibility very, very substantially in your customer's mind. Because now you're making them realize certain problems which they had not realized, or the losses which they had not realized earlier. So your credibility starts very, very drastically increasing over here. It's a very sharp increase in your credibility. Okay. Now look at what is happening in the next step in the form of a meeting plan. On the green one, that is very straight. Customer has given you permission to go ahead. You start asking questions, and that is the easier part of it. An indifferent customer, first you have to make them realize what the problem is. So you have a situation, you have a current problem, what is the implication, and then you go to the need part of it. Look at the difference where the need is coming over here. The need question here is far earlier, and the need question in the blue side of the story is far later. So when you're planning your meeting, please go with a clear plan in your mind what will happen at the objection stage. If the customer is indifferent, how are we going to handle that part of it? Fair? Go back to the call planners what you had. You had a section called preempt your customers. If you have your call planners, look at it. This is a screenshot of that. And there were your responses. There was a section called customers objection. How would you respond to that objection? So the first objection here would be that if the customer is indifferent, how will we handle that customer? So when you plan for your meeting, if you're filling this form, you would by default be able to understand how to handle an indifferent customer and respond yourself over here before you enter a meeting. That what are the situation questions I can ask? What is the effect question I'm going to ask? Correct? What is the question I'm going to ask in case if they're not able to solve it? Sorry. Fair? And for phrasing the questions, what would you ask? You had a question section over there where your fact-finding questions are going to be situation. Your qualification questions are going to be the need questions. And any consequences will either be a feeling or a problem consequence, personal loss questions. So look at your meeting planner when you're going back to this. You will be able to do this in your meeting plan. Any objection which you're going to handle. Does this make it easy to correlate? If you're doing a meeting planner for yourself, your objections can be covered over here. I'll again take a pause. Is everyone able to correlate with a sales call planner, whatever we are saying?
Yes, yes.
If you guys want to look at your call plans, please open your sales call planners and just have a look. There's an objection section. There's a question section, and that's where everything what we have just said is going to fit in. Okay. Now let's look at the second part of what happens. One is objection, what you spoke about over here. Second is the customer concern. There's the second form of objection, what you will typically see. Customer typically shows a lot of concern. I think we are almost done with 1 hour 20 minutes. I think we'll break for 15 minutes before we get into the concerns. Is that good with everyone? Because again, I'll take a little longer time to finish this. Let's break for 15 minutes and come back. Okay, guys. Let's
Okay.
break for 15 minutes and switch off your camera and we'll start again in 15 minutes.
Right. See you later.
Thank
Okay,
Thanks.
if you have any questions by then, please write it down
Feel
and
free
keep
to,
it.
yeah, feel free to ask.
Yeah.
Pawan, we have an offsite tomorrow, so I'm preparing for certain things. So you may need to excuse me at times, but I have full attention. You have my full attention. I'm
No,
listening to you.
I heard you at the start, so don't worry.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Thank you.
I
Appreciate
understand.
it. Yeah, yeah. Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Am I anything which you want to say?
No, this is going good. Pace is sufficient enough. Good one.
It's called.
Hi, did I join at the wrong time?
No, Deepak,
No,
I'm
no, you
really
don't.
sorry. There are some
Fine.
serious things,
It was
and
just
I couldn't ignore that one. I just had to get it fixed, so that's why.
no problem, Deepak. I think we are given a break. We are waiting for
Oh, okay,
people to come in.
sure.
They're about a minute late already.
Oh, okay. So I'm
They
on
should have
time
come back.
for the break.
Yeah, you're on time.
Okay, bye.
I'm here already. Thank you.
Okay, Jada, we cannot see you, so we don't know. Okay, I see Romain, June. Guys, either you will have to raise your hands or switch on your camera so that I know you're there. And then we start accordingly. Dandy is there. Okay, Christina is back. Jackie is back. Fantastic. Okay, I think we have most of us, so we'll get started with the conversation going forward. Okay, where we took a pause was the second form of customer objection typically, which is a concern. Now, in a regular form, typically we define the customer concern into three different broad categories. One is a drawback, second is a skepticism, and third is a misunderstanding. Do you guys want to take a shot at explaining what would a drawback be, what is a skepticism, and what would be a misunderstanding when a customer raises a concern? Anyone who wants to give it a shot?
Um, to me, I think drawback is more of like onset. There is a no already, like whether it's verbally given by the customer or not. Skepticism, they wanted to consider, but they have some apprehensions. Misunderstanding, the solution that has been provided is technically designed to resolve the issue which was presented by the customer. However, there is a disconnect in terms of um, targeting what is the need of the customer versus what are the um, what do you call this, the case studies that has been presented. So that's my thoughts.
Fantastic. Okay. Anyone else? What do you guys think? What is drawback? What is skepticism? Or what is misunderstanding?
I think it's like a negative point, like a limitation also.
Okay. There are no wrong answers, so feel free. I think everyone can express what do they feel about it. Okay, let's have a quick look at what it is. A skepticism is large. Okay, let me. Where did that go? My slide disappeared. Okay. Skepticism is when a customer is largely saying that, no, we are not very sure about what you're saying us, or we are not very clear about how do we want to proceed. So they're just being skeptical about it. An example of that is this. Okay, so let's take quick examples and then I'll take you through how do we resolve them. So every customer provides a claim that they improve CSAT and response time. How is FCX any different? That's a skepticism. Okay, and then you respond to it. Second, misunderstanding is when a customer actually has not even understood what exactly are you trying to offer them. That's a misunderstanding. They do not get your value proposition at all. So the example of that is when a customer says FCX mainly handle basic call center work, while you do far more than that. They've never understood your value prop. That's a misunderstanding. And a drawback is when a customer gives you a reason to move away from the conversation, that either you're expensive, you do not meet the timeline, or we do not feel that you're a right partner. Anything which kinds of takes the customer back or away from you into the conversation. So that are the examples of a skepticism, misunderstanding, and a drawback. Before we read the rest part of it, let's see how do we handle this scenario when a customer is actually raising concerns during a conversation. I would again remind all of you, we are between suspect and a prospect stage. You have taken an elevator pitch to with a customer, and now customer is objecting in various ways. So first form of objection was indifference, which we just covered, where we said you will take a pause, you will try to find a situation or any for new agenda for yourself. Fair. Then you will try to go ahead and ask more questions and then ask for the need all over again to reaffirm the need. That was indifference. Now you're going to the second form, which is concern. Here again, you try to ask a question. The common part, the reason I reiterate the whole thing is asking questions is the most important point in your sales conversations. The more better and pointed questions we ask, the better the sales conversations are going to go forward. Okay, so most of the time you will see the response from most of the situation is asking a valid question. So ask a question, acknowledge the response, and then offer what your responses are. For a skepticism, you're supposed to offer a proof. If the customer is skeptical about your capabilities, then you will offer a proof saying that how are we more capable. If the customer believes that no, you would not be able to deliver a certain solution, then you will offer a proof against it. That's a skepticism. When the customer has a misunderstanding, you're going to clarify it. For example, when we looked at customer believe that you do only basic call center work. So you're going to clarify, no, we do more than that. In the drawback, you're trying to outweigh the with other benefits. When a customer says that, no, I think I'm good, you're going to tell them, again, go back to the questions we asked earlier. There's a problem you have, which is bigger than what you think, and I can help you solve it. So you're trying to show them benefit beyond what they imagine about it. That is your drawback. And the last thing, we're going to check for acceptance again. After every time we raise a question, you will go through a set of steps, and then you're going to look for acceptance from your customer again. Now let's go back to the examples again. What we said, we are first going to ask a question. Then we are going to give a proof and then check for the acceptance. So in the first example of a skepticism, when the customer says every customer's experience provider claims they improve CSAT and response time, how is Fusion CX any different? The probable answer of a salesperson could be, it's a fair question, which is your acceptance. Look at the parts, the way it has been designed. That's a fair question, is your acceptance. Would it help if I shared live performance dashboard we provide to enterprise clients? You're giving a proof for your acceptance now. Showing actual response time, resolution, CSAT, and other technological, other tech accounts for a similar tech accounts. Once you have done this, you're again going to ask, do you still feel we will not be able to help you in this scenario? That's taking a confirmation from your customer, which is acknowledgement. I'm going to take a pause. Are we able to break down the answer into pieces? Acknowledge, ask a question, and look for acceptance. Whenever customer raises a concern, you have a 3-step process. Acknowledge, ask question, and ask for acceptance after that. Okay? I let you read the misunderstanding and the drawback part of it. Did you notice that there has not been any pitching anywhere? None of the concerns answers are having a pitch, a solution pitch. It just talks about the overall value proposition, what you have in your conversation. So please understand, you're not pitching here. When a customer shows a skepticism or a misunderstanding or a drawback, we are not going to get into pitch. We are not taking a sales pitch. We are giving a very brief answer to keep them engaged, but at the same time, either give them a proof, clarify, or give them the other benefits. We have not taken a sales pitch yet. Okay? We are still exploring, and that's why we have not taken a sales pitch. Your elevator pitch got challenged. You are still trying to understand more. Your sales pitch will come far later into the conversation. Is everyone clear about it, that we are not taking a sales pitch over here?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Now let's practice this part of the conversation which we just did. We're going to practice indifference and the customer concern. And we are again going to go back into the breakout rooms. We will again do the same thing. Here the difference would be there's no observer. One person is going to be the seller. The other 2 people or other 3 people in the group, all of them will represent customer. Imagine you're meeting 3 people of the customer side in the first meeting, and that's how the scenario is. And all 3 of them are free to ask any kind of question to a seller. They can raise a concern, they can raise an objection, they can raise an indifference. Okay? Seller will still have a call of 3 minutes to manage that entire sales call, indifference or a concern or any kind of objection being raised. After 3 minutes, you will again change. Someone else will become a seller in the group, and that way we will continue to rotate the seller after every 3 minutes. You will make your own observations about the seller and share with the sellers at the end of the conversation, not after every conversation. Keep making a note. For example, Jeddah is a seller in first time. So you will make a note, Jeddah 1, 2, 3, 4 points as observation. Then Christina becomes a seller. You will make a note of what all happened with the Christina when she was selling into you. When Dandy becomes a seller, you will write down what is the observation you made. After everyone has finished one round of selling, then you will exchange your notes about what did you observe. Okay? Are we clear with the exercise?
Yep.
I need to see a reaction so that I can send you guys into the rooms.
Man, can I
Yes.
see the last God, the last
Which one?
image?
The notes part
The
of it?
last, yeah, please.
Okay. So, for example, Christina, if you are selling, the others will make a note of how did you do in your sales call. And once the entire activity is done, they will share with you what all did they observe about when you were trying to make the sales call.
Mm-hmm.
that how you could have done better, or what were the great things you did. Okay. So when you and Sam were in the group, you will still be the same thing. So when you're making a call, Sam will keep making notes what happened in the call. There's no one observing you separately. Okay.
Okay.
Is everyone good? Any questions? You guys want to take a screenshot of this? Please do, so that you can read the instructions again if required. Maximum 20 minutes to finish everything, including your feedbacks. Okay.
Can you go back to the last slide for a second, please?
Yeah.
With the questions. Thank you.
Okay. Fantastic. Tina, can I request you to open the rooms, please?
Yes, Pavan.
Yeah. I think Tina has opened the rooms. All of you are free to jump into your respective rooms. Jackie, Jeddah, you will have to join your rooms.
I don't have the option for the room.
You don't have, okay, I'll move
Wait,
you.
wait.
Tina, you want to check on this? Jackie is not getting an option apparently.
I don't know. I have already add her in the room, but
Okay. How do we make that work? Are you getting
Oh,
it
I
now,
have it
Jackie?
now. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Jackie, are you able to join in? I don't see you joined it yet. Jackie, can you hear me?
Yes, I don't know what happened. I was in the room and suddenly it kicked me out.
Okay, I will move you to a different room. That's fine. Jeddah, some problem with you as well? You're on mute, Jeddah. We can't hear you.
Oh, you invited me to return to main session.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
You can join in again. You can join in again. Feel free to go back to your room.
How do I join in the room with Sam?
You were part of which room earlier?
For with Sam and Christina.
schedule chaos.
Yeah, you're there. Okay, I'll move you to another room and then push you back here. You get the option now?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
How are you moving her back?
Sorry?
You moving her back to, yeah, you did. Okay.
Because if I'm
Schedule
moving her
chaos.
back, it is not going through. They're coming back here again.
Yeah.
Okay, can you move Jackie also to the respective room, which was with the Galactic Senate, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you move Jackie to Galactic Senate again? Let's see if
Yes,
she's
I
able.
moved.
No, she can't join. She will come back here again.
No, she's just moved. Just give few seconds more.
She's somehow not able to get there. No, now she is able to. Okay.
At last.
Go on.
Okay.
Okay, let them finish. This is very easy one. So we are not required to jump in. क्या है हमारे पास अभी? I don't even know why this slide was there actually.
Is it?
This slide is no correlation to the whole thing. Teddy, can you hear us? No. Oh, okay.
No, they can't hear what is happening here, no? Teddy
He
is
can
here.
hear
Okay.
having
Teddy
dinner.
is here. Okay.
Tina, you can move Teddy to Hemant and this guy,
Okay.
Deepak. He can listen in.
Mm-hmm. Zoom with the view. Then.
Do you want to stop the recording?
Talking on mute. Okay, so myself and Hemant has already completed our both side, and Ted
Okay.
and Jackie was supposed to be in our room, I believe, because
No,
they
no,
told.
Jackie. We pushed her there because she was not able to join her room, and then we moved her back to her own room.
Okay, and Ted joined, but he was also not able to speak, I believe, because
He's having dinner.
excuse me.
He's having his dinner.
Oh, okay, fine. Then myself and Hemant has already completed.
So you will have to read the chat for Ted. He's having his
Oh,
dinner.
okay. I'm sorry.
No
So
problem. So you guys
should we
can
join
stick
back or
around here.
should we remain here?
You can do one more round if you guys want to join in and do one more conversation.
Yeah,
It
sure.
could make sense. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Okay. You can pause the recording please.
We
Good
had a
luck.
lovely discussion. We could have carried on, Pavan, but we had a great,
We're
great
never going to
discussion.
end it because you're having fun with it. So I need to finish this now.
The extension is not enough.
I'm telling you.
Sam definitely had his revenge with Christina.
Oh, and you didn't. It was you who were talking. It was you who were the seller. Then you passed the call to me.
You asked me to. Come on.
Where is
Okay.
Christian?
We have
I cannot
everyone
see your
back.
face.
I hope
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
you guys were able to get a lot of understanding of how to handle indifference,
Yes.
concerns, and when they pop up, how do we play around with it, right? Were you able
Yep.
to use the framework which we just worked around? Asking questions, remediating the agenda again. And does the conversation look different now? In your mind, when you go back and have a customer conversation again, do you think you will be able to play it differently?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
Right?
with the role play
So,
with the sample.
yes. So you can now go back and reflect upon when you have time that how you were having your customer conversations before you got into the workshop, and how would you want to look them after you apply these techniques. Okay, just try and reflect back in your own mind whenever you're sitting free that what we were doing and how can we change it slowly over a period of time. And everything will not apply on every conversation. Please do remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is like a sportsman having a variety of shots in the kitty, and they pull that shot out at that given point, right? If you're playing a tennis, you don't throw every time the backhand for every shot which you have. But if you're playing a cricket, you do not play the same shot to every ball. Please remember this.
Sorry, Pawan. They hardly know about cricket. Probably you can refer to baseball. Yeah.
Okay, baseball, they will have to educate me.
Yeah. You can talk about soccer. You can talk about football or soccer,
Okay.
right?
So look at football, right? You do not kind of tackle the ball the same way every time. You do not pass to the same person every time. There's a different
Right.
strategy in a different game, depending on how the opponent is and how the situations are. You choose the pace of a game differently. You choose the course of the game differently, and that's what the sales in this entire techniques are. You can keep all of them with you, but use them at appropriate time so that you're well prepared to drive them. Okay. Let's move forward. Let's try and understand a couple of more things which are important about this topic. I'm going to take you back to your sales call plan. There's a section called objection, which is highlighted over here. And there is something called differentiators, which are highlighted over here in the conversation. We spoke a lot about differentiator in our own conversation right now, right? Is this going to be same as a differentiator what we spoke during the sales call plan, or what we are talking versus what you heard earlier is different? How do you correlate to this? Your domain did not understand.
I
We
can't see. I was trying to look at what
you
you
can't
highlighted.
see it. I can't. Okay, let me see if I can make it bigger. Is that good enough for you to read it now?
That's better. What was the question? I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm saying we heard about differentiator when we spoke about the meeting planner. And we also spoke about differentiation in the elevator pitch. Are they one and the same, or they're two different things? Because we're using the word differentiation at two different places.
Yes. I'm conflicted. In my head, they can be the same for me, but in somewhat way, I digress. So I'm kind of conflicted. I'm gonna be very honest.
Okay, let me clarify quickly on that part. When you did this differentiation exercise, you said my advantages for the meeting, which is your first column, which means you assumed what are your advantages and went into that conversation. And as the conversation unfolds, you were able to clarify whether it is actually your advantage or it is not an advantage. Objections is something which is going to help you verify what are your differentiators in the conversation. Because as and when customer objects, you will be able to very clearly understand that do they feel this as a differentiator, and does this belong in their mind as a differentiator or not. For example, you saying I have multi-location teams to deliver, or I can deliver staff with a greater flexibility. And that's the advantage you have in your main mind. Right? And a customer comes and says an objection that staff rotation is not an issue for me. I think they're comfortable in that area. There's the objection customer is raising. So now what do you think? Does it still remain your advantage? I'll repeat. When you represent FCX, you're proposing a customer that flexibility of a trained staff is your advantage. And during the conversation, the customer raises an objection stating we do not have any concerns on the staff. We have enough staff available with this or a flexibility of a staff.
Mm.
Now, how would you treat? Is it still your differentiator?
Yeah, because I'm going to pivot into the quality of staff.
Okay. Romain says that will still be a differentiator. What do others think?
No,
Why?
because the customer explicitly mentioned that that is not part of their problem or that is not part of their need.
Fantastic. That is actually what it is. Go to the second column now, addressing customers' need and need behind the need. If I do not have an issue with the staff flexibility, it is no more a differentiator for you in the conversation. So when you're trying to cover your objection and concern, you will at the same time also validate your differentiators in the conversation. Be conscious of the fact that your differentiators will keep changing on a conversation to conversation basis. The more you uncover, the more of assumed differentiators will get nullified. Okay? Because in your mind, your multi-location, flexibility of staff, trained staff, cost saving, these are your top of the mind differentiators which you position to a customer. Okay, I might be wrong in some of them. I'm just giving an example. And if the customer does not relate to them for the given problem statement, or if it is not the part of a need or need behind the need, then they are no more a differentiator in that conversation. So you're free to use them in the elevator pitch, but you will very quickly uncover that whatever differentiator you pitched earlier is not going to work later in the conversation. That is the point we're trying to make, which means you need to uncover more differentiators for later part of the sales to work easy for you. Okay, so objection and concerns are going to give you a very quick check on what you're assuming as a differentiator is a differentiator or no in real time. That's another purpose you can use them for. Okay, and when you reach to these opportunity management, I think you will again be able to get more clarity on what is this looking like. And why is it important to be so clear about these differentiators? Okay,
Hi,
but
Pawan.
I'm being sorry.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I have a question. So, in this selling process, will we be identifying the objections or the differentiator after the elevator pitch, or like this will be identified before elevator pitch itself? I know till insights we have to do it because then only we will know, we will do the research and everything. But the next two tables, that is like the pre-prompts as well as the differentiators, are we going to identify it post elevator pitch or before itself?
Before I answer, I want the team members to take a view on it. What do you think? What would you do?
I
Would
think this
you
will come up after the elevator pitch.
Sorry, Hemant, I missed you there.
Yeah, I think we need to fill this out after the elevator pitch. Pitch is like the initial stage, right? We do not trying to understand the customer problem in depth.
Okay,
And as
fair.
the
That's
call
what.
progress, we try to understand more and more and then fill this out.
Okay, fair. That's what Hemant believe. What about others? What do you think? You would fill the sales call planner objection and advantages after the elevator pitch or before the elevator pitch? When would you fill it?
Before.
Okay, Dandy says before. Fair. Why, Dandy? Why do you think so?
Because we so we are doing projections, right? So we are projecting our customers, and so say for example, I have X number of logos that I want to pursue. I need to understand first superficially, right, so to speak, and then eventually when you do the the further discussion, then you go through your elevator pitch, then that's where you understand, oh, okay, so initially it's not. But again, to your point, that can be an advantage for us later on. But as of the moment, we wanted to target and be intentional of what we wanted to resolve for them.
Yes. So what Andy is trying to say is that you want to fill it earlier before you get into the conversation, and your objections will lead you to your differentiator confirmation, and you can use them later in the conversation. While they might change, but you will leverage them as required. Okay. Now, to look at what you just asked, Deepak, this is what is happening exactly. Have a look at this and then tell me, will you fill it before or after? I'll explain it after that. I'll let you read it for a moment.
It should be after the smart selling process, because from there only we are starting everything.
Exactly. So you're going to make the call plan always before any conversation with a customer.
Yep.
Okay. A call plan has to be filled even before the first call, because that's where you're capturing what all research you have done, and you have defined an elevator pitch, and you're trying to now preempt, if I put across this elevator pitch, what are the objections they can raise? So one objection could be that they are going to be indifferent. Second, they could get into a mode of concern, saying that, no, we do not believe this is true in our case. Skepticism. They say, no, we hear this every other day. Correct? That is more or less a drawback. So you will have that all kind of conversations captured. Now, what we were saying in the previous slide is that when you went into that elevator pitch, you crafted a differentiator, correct?
Yes.
The moment they state their need, that differentiator might get nullified because you pitched in with a certain thought in your mind, and that differentiator was relevant. The moment the need changes, the differentiator changes by itself.
Exactly. And also we might need to amend this later.
Yes. It's a
Yes,
relative
correct.
conversation. It is not a fixed conversation.
Yep.
So
But I have a
differentiator is
question,
a relative
Pavan.
term in the deal. Yeah, please.
What if it's a cold call where they actually don't have a need, but you're trying to sell something?
Perfect. So if they don't have a need, you're still trying to pursue them on how to move forward in the conversation. Correct. So look at this. How will it go? You have a meeting plan. You do a call opening. Okay. You do a call opening. Customer has a need. Then you will follow the dark green path till here. Okay. What that means? You're going to get into a conversation straight because customer is sharing a need with you. You're going to understand about what is the customer concept of a solution. What is the solution vision? You're going to ask a situational question to them. And only if need be, you will ask problem questions with them. Fair enough? This is where customer is taking a need. Now comes the second part of it, where a customer is indifferent to you. They are not opening up to you. They're saying, no, we don't need anything. Now you will go with this part, what we just practiced, correct? You will first say, fair enough, we understand you don't need anything. And then you will say, okay, do you face these situations in a day-to-day? Okay, you're going to go with, and this is about where you do the research. Go back. You used your AI tools to do the research in the call planner, right? So you know what are the top industry problems for them. So you will use top 1 or 2 industry problems and try to understand if they have that challenges. Now, if you look at, this is a human nature that if I throw something wrong at you, try to correct me. When I say, do you have these two problems? You say, no, I don't have this, but I have this problem. That is what happens when you go to a doctor as well, largely. If you say you have a pain and the doctor is going to ask you two questions, and if he doesn't capture it correctly, you very swiftly respond to him that, no, this is my statement. That is what a customer also does most of the time, right? And that will give you a space to have a conversation. So when a customer is indifferent, you will go on this path. And then you try to investigate further. Okay, how big is the problem? Have you tried to solve it? What happened when you tried to solve it? Those questions, right? Then you acknowledge the need with them. Remember, we said we need to confirm the need with the customer. That do you think if we solve it, it is going to help you? We are still not pitching a solution. We are reconfirming with the customer that if I solve, will it be valuable to your business? This is where they might have a concern largely coming in. This is where you play with the concern. What Romain was doing earlier to June in the conversation. I don't know if you solve this, how will it help me? I've never thought about it. That's a concern. Correct? Now you're trying to address the concern part of it over here. Once you have reached here is when you take a call to action, which is your best customer action. BCA here is best customer action. That's when you will ask for how do we move ahead. Once you have resolved a customer concern is then you ask them how do we move ahead. So what would you do? Would you make us meet along with more team members? Or do you think you need, want us to kind of draft a basic solution diagram and share with you or a solution design with you? Do you need approval to take this ahead? How do you want to go forward? That's the best customer action. Okay. And if that doesn't happen, then basically you're going to check, if not a best customer action, ask for a minimum. That would you need time to go back and prepare your team for this kind of a solution to be discussed? Or do you want to go and seek approval internally before you kind of ask us to share a proposal with you? That's a minimum customer action. You're giving them time, you're buying them time, but with a clear action that when should I come back? Is it good enough that after 1 month we discuss this again? That's a minimum customer action. Okay. So this is how both the path will play across. But you will have a customer concern in either of the paths. That's why they merge at one point. So whether a customer is sharing a need or not sharing a need, they might raise a concern in either case. Fair enough? So this is how your typical conversations will go in customer's mind. Okay. And we have covered two large objections over here. One is indifference and one is a customer concern. Is this good with everyone? Are we clear till here? So we are going to prepare a call plan before the meeting gets started or even as elevator pitch gets started. Whatever you know, you're going to pick it up in the call plan, which is your research about the customer, about the persona whom you're going to talk to, everything. What are the typical challenges they have? Your advantages, what are the objections you're going to have? What are the questions you're going to ask? Everything will come in a meeting plan, in a sales call plan. And after that, you will start taking your pitch to the customer. Okay. I think we'll take a quick break before we move forward so that we can, I'll finish this and move forward. Sorry, my mistake. I forgot the last slide. This is a summary of what we have done till now. We said there are 4 steps to crafting an elevator pitch, which is your problem, impact, differentiator, and call to action, PIDC. Okay. Second thing which we went is, if we have taken an elevator pitch and the customer is indifferent, then how do we handle that? How to open to an indifferent customer? We said how to probe further when the customer is indifferent, which is your third part of the conversation. Okay. What is your current situation? How is it working right now? What are the effects? And what is the need you have finally confirmed to us? And then comes when they raise a concern around this, how do you handle the concern. There are three kinds of concerns. Skepticism, where you offer the proof. Misunderstanding, you clarify or give a relevant information. And drawback, where you talk to them about the other benefits. This is what we have covered till now. Any questions on whatever you're seeing on the screen? Anything which is not clear before we go on a break?
I think from my end, no, no, no. Sorry,
Okay.
go ahead. I'm just thinking aloud. Sorry.
No, go ahead. That's absolutely fine. So if there are no questions, I think we would take a quick break of another 15 minutes and then we go to the last part of the conversation. Is that good with
Sure.
everyone?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay,
Sure.
fantastic. 15 minutes and then we will be back again.
All
Sure.
right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
And on time, let's get into the last part of the conversation, which we're going to get into. I was holding all the while to define what is an objection largely. Okay. Do you guys want to take a shot at defining what an objection really means from the customer? How would you define what is an objection?
Resistance.
Okay, resistance, fair.
Anything which is not helping their need.
Anything which is not helping their need. Okay.
Like doubt or concern.
Doubt or a concern. Okay, fair. That is also fair.
Basically, I think the reason why they're not ready to buy, or a reason
they're not
why
ready.
not to, yeah.
Okay, fair. So is objection a good thing or a bad thing in a sales conversation? How do you phrase it today?
I think it's a good thing.
How? Why would you say that, Andy?
Why? Because when they're objecting, then they 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 are interested to know more, right? And then the objection itself, um, you will be able to ask more questions, and they will also give you very detailed responses, which you will be able to understand more. So to me, I'm taking it with a grain of salt. If people are objecting, to me, it's creating the interest nonetheless, right?
Okay, and how many of you look at it that way? That
Sorry.
No, I'm asking your other team members, how do they agree? How many of them agree with you?
Okay.
How many of you agree with Andy that objection is basically a space where you get a time and a window to express yourself more and ask more questions and get more deeper into a conversation? How many of you agree to that?
I feel
Jackie
like
says.
objection is always better than indifference or like not means called response from the customer.
Okay, fair. Objection is better. What do others think?
Well, as long as you know how to handle the objection and you have the tools to, give another approach, it could be a positive thing.
Till the time you can manage an objection, it is okay to have an objection, but if you can't, then you have a problem. Great point. Okay.
Yes.
Others, come on. Heman, June, what do you guys think about objection?
Yeah, I agree with what Dandy mentioned. It's an opportunity for the salesperson to address any concerns or hesitations of the customer.
Okay. Fantastic. So let's, most of the answers were very close what we are looking at, and I think you guys get it right. So let's look at what an objection looks like and what does it really mean. Basically, an objection is a prospect's concern, hesitation, or pushback. Okay. It's either a concern, a hesitation, or a pushback, which is holding them to move forward in a sales process. It will generally stem out of urgency, lack of perceived value, budget constraint, or a trust issue. So every time a customer objects, either they have a concern, hesitation, or a pushback. And they're doing so because either they have a lack of urgency, they have a lack of value which they find in the entire conversation, they might not have enough money, or they do not trust the person whom they're talking to. Now that leads us to a point. Objection is generally an opportunity where you can fill in a lot, because when a customer is either pushing back or hesitating or having a concern, there is an underlying need. Okay, look at that statement. There's an underlying need against which they are either hesitating, they have a concern, or they're pushing it back. Because I don't have money, I don't have time, I don't have urgency, or I don't have a trust on the person I'm talking to. So it is good to have objections in your sales conversation, and every time customer objects, it is an opportunity for you to pitch in, as Dandy said. Right? It is a good thing to have objection from a customer. And if you're well prepared to handle, this is going to lead you into a lot of conversation and deeper insights into the customer business requirements. There are typically, if you look at the large categories, there are 5 kind of objections you will see. One is a price. Second is time. Third is competition. Fourth is authority. And fifth is effort. Okay. Customers will typically push back or show a concern or a hesitation around these 5 points. We don't have enough budget right now. I don't think so. We need it at this point of the time. We already have a service from your competition. I don't think so. We have any sponsor for this. Or it is too much effort. I do not want to put the effort. If you're trying to sell something first time to a customer, they're going to struggle, and they're trying to basically react saying that, who will own this up? Why am I going to put in so much effort? They find no value in that. And that's the last point. Okay. Let's quickly look at some of the common objections which you will hear from your customers. Your solution is too expensive, not a priority. We're already using. Okay, just have a look. I'm not going to read all of them for you. Look at the last one, which I feel is very interesting. I do not have time for this right now, which is one of the most common answers you will hear on a conversation from the customer. Okay, these are the most common objections. So how do you handle these objections? Is there a way, or is there a certain framework which you can use so that it is easy for us to get into these conversations? Yes, there is definitely a framework, and we call it ARPC, which is acknowledge. A is acknowledge, R is reframe, P is prove, and C is close. Okay. So this is the framework we're going to use. Please remember the acronym ARPC. Okay, whenever you get into an objection conversation, first thing we do is we validate their concern and we show some empathy. Which is, we understand you have a concern, or we understand where are you coming from. Then you try to shift the perspective to a long-term value in the conversation. Go back what we did in the indifference conversation. We showed them value or the problem we are going to solve. In the concern, we said when there was a drawback, we said we will show them outweigh with the other benefits. Similarly, when there's a objection from a customer, we will show them the value first. We're not trying to give them a proof that they have a problem. We are showing them the long-term value first, which is reframe. Third is a proof. Give them an example or a case study where you have seen a similar scenario or you have been able to solve that problem. So you need to keep some data handy for that. And fourth, you want to secure commitment, but with a low pressure. We do not want to pressurize a customer to moving forward very fast. At the same time, we also want a certain commitment, a soft commitment of what will happen next. So acknowledge, reframe, prove, and close. Now, how will it play out in a real-time world? Okay, let's take a couple of examples for that. First, customer says the solution is too expensive. We say we understand budget is always a constraint or a critical factor in your decision making. That is how you're going to acknowledge it. Then you reframe it. Most of our clients initially felt the same way, but they found real cost was in missed revenue opportunities or whatever is the missed opportunity they have. Now you're showing them the value. You're still not pitching in. You're just saying most of our customers initially felt the same way and they realized that they were losing bigger than what they thought. Then you prove that a customer XYZ or ABC saw a 3x return in so much time after implementing the solution. This is where you give them a proof. And then you say, okay, would a quick ROI breakdown help clarify the value? There is no pitching. There is no next meeting. We're just handling that moment objection. We're not trying to conclude the meeting here. So please remember, close here is ensuring that we move further in the conversation. They said we find it too expensive. If I give you an ROI, would you be able to have a conversation with me ahead? So would a quick ROI breakdown and help and clarify the value? Make sense? Any questions till now? So yes, please, Hemant.
Yeah, so when the customer says your solution is too expensive, we are not trying to negotiate here. Instead, we are trying to tell them what value we can add, right?
Okay. Hemant, negotiation will happen when you've submitted a proposal and they're comparing you with someone. So at a negotiation stage, this statement has a very, very different meaning.
Okay, got it.
But when you're pitching to a customer and they say, we have heard about you, probably you're way too expensive for us, right? It's like a Mercedes salesman going to an average earning person and he will say, no, you're too expensive for us. Correct?
Yeah.
So they're a suspect to prospect. So they're not trying to negotiate with you. They're just trying to understand how do you, if they pay you so much money, then what is the value you draw out of them? Okay?
Yeah.
So what you say is perfectly right, but the statement is more relevant when you're at a later stage in the sales cycle. Any other questions from anyone? If you go to all the forms of objection which we have said, the first thing we're doing is acknowledging the customer. We're not trying to debate with them. We're not trying to kind of say that, no, you're not right about it. Or probably it's a very small problem, we can solve it. So we're trying to acknowledge and empathize in any form of objection with them, first thing. And then over here, we are saying the generic way of doing it is a rephrasing. Okay, let's look at some more examples so that you can have some more idea about it. This is another one. I'll let you read this one by yourself. Again, a classic case where you do not pitch, but you make the customer realize that the problem is what we want to solve and this is what you're going to get. I'm going to take you through some more examples and then we will get down to the next part of the conversation largely. There are a few more examples on your screen to read. These two are very important objections, what you would have in a lot of cases. Where a customer says we are already with your competition. How do you handle that? How many of you feel that the way it is being reframed over here in this case, is it doable or is it too much that you name your competition and it is going to create challenges for you? I'm talking about this part. Is it okay to name your competition over here?
I think yes, it's okay as long as you have done complete research about the competitor, so that at least if they ask further questions, then you can have a backup response.
Fantastic. Thanks for that, Joe. Till
And
the
if it is
time your
publicly available, means we will be getting this from the ChatGPT or like our research. So anybody can get it. So we can share, not
yes,
an
but you need to have a proof point to say where is your data coming from when you make such a tall claim. Okay, so before you make a claim like this, be sure that you have a data to prove a point when it goes down to that path. Because you have no idea how strong or thick the relationship customer has with your competitor. If it's a very strong relationship, they're going to challenge you back, which means you should be able to justify your position in this scenario. Okay, and the next example is about when you're talking to someone who is not very high in rank, but you still want to make them work along, for you largely. Everyone has read? Can I move ahead?
Yes.
There are a few more examples for you to read. And I've tried captured all the possible variations what you would get typically on the ground.
Sorry, Pawan, is there a question for me or we are going through this?
No, we're just going through it, Sam.
Okay, okay. Even you have my full attention, but I am actually juggling, but I can also read. Okay, no worries.
No, that's fine. That's absolutely fine.
Thank you.
You have that on your book as well for you to read later.
Yeah, I have actually asked Tina to send me the link because somehow I was not getting it, and I have opened the book, and that's why I was just matching with it. Thank you for that.
Yeah. This is one of the most interesting objections which I have seen with everyone. Can you send me an email? Most of us end up saying that, okay, I'll send you an email. Do you really feel the customers open the email which we send out?
Not really.
When you're
Most
trying to get
likely,
an elevator pitch? Sorry?
it most likely they will not read it or pay attention to it. But Pavan, in that example, and where it says proof, that phrase, I don't know if it would work for me. Like, it sounds a little
Okay.
bit pushy. Like,
it is not. So I'll tell you what is happening over here. And that's why it took a moment to come on that example again. What you're trying to achieve, Christina, is you're trying to ask the customer which part of this is important for you. Which means you force them to take a moment and tell you what exactly are they looking for. This is basically uncovering a customer need. Very subtly, you're asking, okay, I can send you my whole offering, but which of it will be more important to you? Or is there something in specific which you want to read in my brochure so I can put it on a mail body for you? So they will have to take a pause, go back to an insightful question in the credibility section which you heard in the sales call planner. How do you define a insightful question? where a customer cannot give you a knee-jerk response. When a customer takes a pause before they answer. So if you can ask a question to a customer where they have to take a pause, one, your credibility went up. Second, the information you got was far more important to them in their mind. So they might take a pause. They will say, okay, I want to see everything. You can say, fair enough. Is there an order in which I can align this for you so that it will become easier for you to read? That's okay. You're just trying to judge what is the top of the mind recall they have about what you're trying to talk to them about. That is the objective of it. So we don't have to keep pushing it. After 2 tries, if they say that no, I'm okay to receive an email entire thing, then you just send it because that's all you can do at that point on a phone. You're not trying to debate with them. But this definitely
Right.
works in most of the cases where they're forced to answer you what do they want to hear. Okay. Any other questions from anyone? I think someone was trying to say something. No? Okay. Now let's try and practice this. We understand the concern, objection part of it. What we're going to practice is the framework which we spoke about. Acknowledge, reframe, prove, and close. Okay, we are again going to get into breakout rooms. One of you will take one opportunity. One person will define their own opportunity on which is a real opportunity where they're working. And as a team, you will try to come up with all the possible objections a customer can raise in the next meeting. Okay, for example, Dindo is in a group and Dindo is going to explain his opportunity to all the team members. And all other team members along with Dindo will try and come up with all the possible objections a customer can raise. But be mindful that you have to ensure that the stage of the deal, who is the audience, and context of the meeting is to be kept in consideration. Okay. This is where you will spend 5 minutes. So first 3 minutes, Dindo is going to talk, explain about his opportunity. After that, team together will take 5 minutes to come up with all the possible objections. It could be about time. It could be about budget. It could be about solution. It could be about not knowing you as a partner, anything. Okay. And then you're trying to take another 10 minutes to phrase the responses in the ARPC format for each of the objections. For example, you had 5 objections. You will try and phrase answer to those 5 objections in ARPC format in next 10 minutes. And then we are going to ask each group to quickly present what is that they have come up with. Okay. Is everyone clear with the exercise? You want to take a screenshot? Please do take it. You will take one opportunity of your team member and then work on it to understand or first figure out all the possible objections and then phrase the responses to it. All good? Any questions? No? Fantastic. Tina, can I request you to open the rooms, please?
Yes.
Okay, I think all of you can join your respective rooms. Tina, I need your help to put the timer for 18 minutes.
I am not able to.
No problem. That's it. I'll put
Yes,
that.
because I have मुझे पहले ही करना चाहिए ये ओपन करने से पहले मुझे यहाँ पे मॉडिफिकेशन करना पड़ता है
नहीं नहीं
टाइमर
ठीक है नो प्रॉब्लम
11:20.
Jeta, you're able to join or no? Jeta, you're there? You can pause the recording and go ahead.
Right?
25 seconds.
Tina is like 30 seconds of conversation also could not get lost. So I will unpause the recording first.
How?
Okay. How many of you were able to finish? No?
Christina, Jeda, I think we needed 5 more minutes.
Yep.
How about other groups? You guys were able to finish?
No, we need
We
more
were able
time.
to finish.
Sorry?
Oh,
Deepak, you haven't finished?
If it's
yeah, ours
possible.
is finished.
Okay, fair. Dandian group, you guys were able to finish?
We're done.
Dandy and Jackie?
Jack and I were done. Thank you.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Dindo, June, Romain, you were able to finish?
No, we don't.
Okay.
We weren't
How
able to
much time
finish. We discussed a lot.
Okay. Okay. What we'll do is we'll let you present with what you have right now in the interest of time so that we can move forward and close this. And if we have more time, then probably we can go back to this workshop. Is that okay?
Sure,
Yep.
that works.
But were we able to apply the framework? Anyone who was felt extreme challenge in applying the framework what we just discussed? Or is it okay to apply this? The ARPC framework, were you able to apply this? Anyone who
Yes.
struggled with it? Anyone who struggled with it?
Jeda, you have the note, right?
Yes, I do have the note.
Good.
Okay, so I'm assuming everyone is comfortable applying the framework of ARPC on the objection what we are seeing right now. Okay. Can we go one by one? And Deepak, Hemant, you guys want to take a lead on presenting whatever you have worked upon?
Sure, Pawan. In fact, we don't have any real life scenario as of now, so we just created our own. Okay.
Which is okay.
Okay. Shall I share? Because since you are sharing, it
Yeah,
is
you can
asking
share.
to. Okay, fine.
I'll stop sharing. You can share a screen.
Okay. Excuse me. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So one of the objection raised by Hemant was like the implementation of AQMS for the quality management is costly. So this one was like, I completely understand the solution is costly. One of our customer mobile X initially thought the same and declined in the beginning. But later, when they tried the solution, it proved that the quality has drastically improved within 2 months of implementation from 60 to 80 percentage. Do you want to see a quick case study on this client performance pre and post implementation?
Okay.
That was the first objection. And second objection was timeline for the production is too tight because he was not having much time for the implementation. So I accepted, like, I truly understand your concern when we have to do a huge ramp with short time. One of our client, XXS, also thought the same when there was a requirement of ramp with 300 headcount. With our existing global HR team and AI screening system and robust training team, we were able to do a ramp of 300 users for the customer in record time of 1.5 hours. And the close is, do you feel comfortable after knowing this fact, or would you like to see our hiring planner and training certification summary?
Okay. In the second example, how are you reframing this?
I this is like acceptance. This is the reframe. Like one of our client XXS also thought the same when there was a requirement of RAM with 300 head count. Yep, that is the reframe.
The way you're rephrasing it. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And then
And
you're giving out proof of that, and then you're closing it.
yes.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, any other objections which you expect in the next conversation, or any other kind of
I just
observations?
checked with Hemant, so these are the two which he thought, because we had
Okay,
only two persons in the team, so I didn't had that.
no problem. That's
Okay.
fine. Okay, who wants to go next? Okay, let me look at it. Now, want to tell me the rooms, breakout rooms names? Okay, I found it. No problem. Okay, we go in the reverse order. So, Christina, Sam, and Jetta, over to you guys. You want to share with us what is that you had in the conversation?
Well, we have a real life scenario, and I have a customer who's basically into alternate power in the sense of you know EV and solar and all this, right? And they're pretty much global, and they don't work with any I would say first world countries like US or Canada. They are majorly into improving countries or third world countries. A lot of countries they are actually catering to in Latin America, in Africa, and in Asia. Now, one of the challenges they want to keep it as in, I would say, very, very minimal, I would say, geographies, right? When it comes to delivery locations. Now, the challenge is uh, we can do it from Latin America, but in Latin America also, even if they speak Spanish and Portuguese, majorly Spanish, right? There are different time zones, and also managing the cultural aspects would be a little different because though we can do that, it's not like that we cannot do that. At the same time, client expectation is um, keeping the same price across globally. Now, that's difficult because when you're trying to explain them in English, Spanish, and other language, especially African market, they have a requirement for French and German as well, which is we can do it, we can deliver, but the pricing will be a different ballgame, right? And since the client is not from contact center background, they have an in-house contact center. First time they're planning to outsource, but their in-house contact center is like for them is a different line of business altogether because they're coming from very traditional business. All the senior folks are around, almost 50, 55, wearing traditional dress, and the contact center people are different, right? So one of the questions, apart from how do we minimize the location, we also discuss about the challenges would be managing the same time zone and same hoop, right, which is our operations, and managing the same service delivery from across the country. We have a centralized service delivery team, we can do that, but they might not agree on that without a proof of pudding. So we are discussing about that. Probably we can go for a champion challenger model or something like that, so that at least with a small headcount you can prove, and then we can do that. So we had a conversation about that. Then one of the objections they have actually asked that how do you manage Gen Z, because they feel is very difficult, which is in our case, three of us, we have different views. Managing Gen Z for some of us are not that difficult, but there are different challenges also, right? So we
Correct,
discussed on
but
that.
did you try applying the ARPC model when you're handling the objections?
Yes, we did. We did.
And
We
you were able
actually
to
follow
apply
the Yes, we actually follow the entire framework. Majorly, it was Christian and Jada who follow that. I'll be super honest with you. I was just bringing the question on the surface because it was my client and it's a real life scenario, but they follow the framework for sure. Jada, would you like to? I think Christian has said BRB, but Jada would like to make a
Yeah.
comment on that, the discussion which we had. We can hear you, Jada.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
With the discussion that we have, we actually the focus is regarding the objections on a case wherein, let's say for example, we are dealing with Spanish language requirement scenario with a client who has challenges around. So Number one, customer relationship engagement, pricing concerns, and non-traditional call center operations. Those are the situations.
Would
So,
you like to share with us to see this? You have made any notes anywhere to share with us?
this one.
Did you make a note? Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Let me just share.
It will be easy for everyone to quickly relate and read through so that we can
While
see.
talking, I believe they have shared the framework. I'm not sure about what she has made the note, but let us go through it. No problem.
If you've not made a note, it's fine. I understand that you kind of tried it and you're comfortable
We
using
do
the framework.
have here.
Okay. She copied and pasted in the group chat.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. But the responses are not captured. You practiced it between the group, which is okay. Which is absolutely fine. Okay. Let's take a quick look
Do
at the
you have
notes.
Christina back? We have Christina also, Pavan. Christina, would you like to make a
Sorry?
comment on? We have Christina back. She said BRB. So, Christina, would you like to make a comment on the exercise we did? Did we follow the ARPC framework? Challenges we already spoke about? Anything you want to add before we move to the next group?
No, I think the thing is we covered those, but I don't think we have a reading
Yeah.
piece by piece. But yeah, we cover everything, like the whole ARPC.
Yeah.
But I think you mentioned everything already.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. Yes, Pavan, we are good.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Sam. Dandy and Jackie, would you guys want to kind of share what have you were able to kind of cover up?
Sure. Let me share my screen. Hold on, give me a second. Let me know if you're seeing my screen.
Yeah, we can.
So, per hour rate for 2 hours, that's our identified opportunity from the client. Well, I kind of this happened to me with my previous account, right? And so the account got pulled out because of the per hour rate, right? And so I feel like that specific opportunity is something that we wanted to manage moving forward, specifically on the new logos and existing logos. So we kind of put that here. And then the objection there is reporting from the customer. Current billing is a concern for them as it's getting too high and very difficult for them to justify. So that's the objection. And then the acknowledgement is I understand the scrutiny of the utility budget, and then we kind of frame it out as per hour rate pertains to the expertise in the compliance requirement and the service level that we are currently providing. I think based from the discussion from the first group, I would want to add here as well that we can also do some multi scaling so that if there are other skill sets that needs to be cross-trained with the people onboarded, then that's going to give them less cost as well, rather than hiring additional agents. So I want to put that there as part of the reframe. And then for Prove, as a matter of fact, from what we have seen in the performance, we have less complaints from the business bureau from average of 75% to 25% less than the previous months, which is significantly helping your cost on the side cost to go down. And then our the last part is the case. We can calculate the cost per calls and do some, the CBA, and then versus the savings we have from those on the side costs as well. So that's what we have here.
Okay, I have a question for everyone. Is the reframe okay? Is the reframe what you're reading on the screen? Is it okay?
R is missing.
Let me.
Oh no, I can see it. Yeah, my bad.
I think the reframe
Maybe in the
is not
reframe, you
it's
might
not
want to try and bring out a different value prop over here in terms of what is the customer losing or what will they gain with their skill set,
Mhm.
right? You're right around the compliance part of it, but I think the way we are phrasing it is coming out as a selling pitch, correct?
Okay. Got it.
So
Got it.
you might want to rephrase the wordings. I'm not saying the the thought process is right, but probably it needs a little bit of rephrasing over here.
Okay.
Pawan,
Got it.
if I may, it's very
Yeah, please.
subjective at times because it's also depends on what level of interactions and what kind of interactions we are doing with the clients, and which geo the client also belong to, which culture the client also belong to, right? We have experience, and guys, keep me honest here, that some clients are really really upfront. They need the transparency when we are talking and choosing our language, right? Like the way I can tell you, the way we speak, especially for me, I have experienced the way I speak to the clients in US market. When I talk to the Indian clients, it's way different. If I take the same approach, I may not even get a chance to get the second meeting. That is an existing client, like you are facing it, or you just took it as an example from
No,
all the
it's
challenges.
So
no.
Sam, just like
This is
he has
the.
already lost an opportunity, I guess. It was a last customer where they were engaging.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
to your point, Sam, what you're looking at, see, what we're saying is the value prop might change between US
Mm-hmm.
and India market.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Correct? US might value compliance more, and India guy might probably value the commercial part of it more, or for example, the SLA part of it more, right?
Correct. Agreed.
The point we are saying in reframe is that you do not want to come across as a salesy guy.
Yeah, it's not be that direct. You want to say that,
Yeah.
right?
So
It has to
here
be
what we're
very
saying is we
subtle,
are
but
currently
not that
providing.
direct. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So when we say
Okay. Got it.
that
Got it.
we are providing, it comes across as very, very sales kind of a talk.
Right, because in B2B
Mm,
scenario, that's very relevant. I totally agree with Pawan because the moment somebody get to know that you are a sales
Mm,
guy, they will
mm,
act in a different way. And that's why you will see sometimes nowadays, even the job title of sales guys are different, right? People talk about growth manager, people talk about, CGO and other stuff, right? So growth is not only sales, right? So
mhm,
those kind of things, I think, is a very valid point, Andy. And this is actually making us
mhm.
think, all of us, because sometimes
Yep.
we don't realize and we oversell ourselves and we use such language where we're trying to sell that comes across very directly. So Pawan has a good point.
Yep. Agree. Point
you,
taken.
you might want to kind of,
Rephrasing this.
yeah, would help.
Yeah, because I'm thinking that we kind of be more specific to the reframe, right? Like the compliances. What do we have in the compliances? Making sure that the agents, if say for example, this is taking payments, making sure that we are certified, right? And all these things. And the fraud
Give it
detection,
a shot.
something to that effect. So that's part of it. So I think I
Yeah.
just have to be more specific on that versus this
Mm.
because kind of, a very sales approach. Yeah, agree.
Yeah. So one way I might be entirely wrong about it. The other way to rephrase would be that, we understand compliance can be challenging at times, and not meeting the compliance would lead you to such a business loss. One, we had a
Mm.
client who opted for the lower, lower cost partner, and then they had to pay out an XYZ amount during the compliance checks. That's another way to put
Oh,
it
got
across.
it, got it, got it. Okay,
You get it?
okay, makes
So
sense.
I'm not saying
Yes,
that
makes
I
sense.
do great, but I'm just putting across a consequence of choosing a low value partner.
Mm,
Correct?
mm.
That
Yep,
I'm bringing up
agree,
the value.
agree.
That don't look at the money, but look at what is that you want to pay later. So that's a
Yep,
reframe part.
agree.
Then prove, I think we have done a fair job there. Okay. And the C is not case, it is close. The last thing is
Sorry.
close. Again, in the close, you would not want to say that we can calculate the cost per call. You would want to say, if I calculate this, would it help you in making a decision?
Better. Okay, got it. Okay.
So you don't want to push across this, I can calculate and I can give you this. So then it becomes pushy again. You're saying, if I calculate
Mm-hmm.
and help you with this data, will it help making, make you a better decision?
Right. Okay. That's a
Okay.
better way of saying it. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Is everyone aligned on that? You get a sense of it. We don't want to be pushy, but we also want to cut
Mm-hmm.
across a value and also give a close very categorically. Okay.
Yep.
Let's
Okay,
move to
got it.
window and team.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Randy and
All
team.
right, thank you.
Let's quickly move
Thanks,
to the last
Ravan.
group.
Thanks, Sam.
Hey, thanks. Yeah.
My pleasure,
Dindo, June,
Randy.
and Rohit.
Anytime.
Okay.
You guys want to quickly jump in with what you have prepared?
Yeah, sure. Let me share. So as you can see, we have not necessarily completed everything, but just to give
Which is okay.
everyone, yeah, just to give everyone a background on this. So this more as what is happening with the AT&T B2B space, where programs are, agents on certain programs are being uh, kind of integrated into different from one program to another. So they are creating hybrid agents to handle one program and another. So switching from one to another. And but what we are trying to look into is to take that opportunity of growth of keeping the setup as it is, and not continuing with the hybrid setup. And so um the objectives that we are typically seeing would be, of course it is expensive, that it's not cost saving. That's why they're looking into putting the agents into a hybrid or high tier agents, right? And then they're also saying that the volume's low. There's no dedicated need to keep the program with two separate teams. And so I'm addressing the first objection, which is expensive, right? It's not cost saving. So in terms of acknowledge, we say I completely understand that budget is always a critical concern. And to reframe it, we say, well, most of our clients feel the same to manage costs to their operations, but they found that putting in a hybrid or high tier agents to handle multiple actions or activities create low quality call interactions and burnout to their team. And so for our proof, when we say when we kept two of our programs separate and concentrating on their core activities, this brought the CSAT and resolve rate scores consistently exceeding target month over month, which is highly important to AT&T as an organization. And so to close with a quick review on the hybrid versus traditional team performance, help clarify the value.
Fantastic. This looks good. I think this is well thought out. Thanks, Dindo and team. Thanks for sharing. So I hope all of you get a gist of, right, the way we were having a conversation all this while, we were pitching in too early in a conversation. I think the objective with the elevator pitch is to hold the solution pitching too early. First, give a relevance of what we are talking about. And as and when the customer has an objection or a concern, we address that and then move into the conversation slowly. Okay. And now we have got a framework for everything which we were handling till now. So for the last piece, which was objection, we looked at a framework called ARPC, which is acknowledge, reframe, prove, and close. With that, gentlemen, this brings us to the end of our conversation. And before I leave you all, there's a small message for all of you. Typically, if you look at this graph, what it says is that if you do not practice this on a day-to-day life, by about day 30th, all of us will go back to our old habits. The point I'm trying to stress upon is that try and practice one bit of it every day in your day-to-day routine. We're not saying that everything will happen on day one. Keep practicing a small bit of it every day so that you don't forget whatever we have learned in last one full day, in last 2 sessions. Okay. If we kind of miss that, you would by day 30th, it's a human psychology and it is based on that we kind of tend to forget everything what we have learned. So let's try to make a best of our knowledge. Let's try to follow the red line rather than a blue line on the screen. That we keep going, learning slow and keep improving on a day-to-day basis. Fair? With that, 2 things. We're going to have a reinforcement call of 2 hours each on 25th and 30th Jan, where we're going to cover this along with the next part, opportunity qualification. So if you have any questions, please make a note. Keep them with you. When we have a reinforcement, we're going to again revisit all the concepts again. Okay, so mark the dates 25th and 30th, and we will again talk elevator pitch and objection handling on a brief time.
Hi, Pawan. Like 25th is Sunday, right?
25th is Sunday, then I would have got a date wrong.
Yes.
26th. It has to be 26th.
Okay, 26th, my mistake. My bad. I apologize for that.
No
I
problem.
think I read the calendar wrong.
26 and 30.
26th and 30th, we will again be revisiting these 2 concepts. Okay.
Sure.
Before we go, sorry, Sam, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, so this is for all the team members. Guys, I need your help. I have a meeting on every Monday. I would say half an hour prior to we end this session with the board and give them an update about what is going on in the training, how we are improving as a group and everything. And the schedule came from Pankaj Sir PD. So it's very difficult for us to change because he has back-to-back reviews and all, right? So I was just requesting if we can just for Monday, we can start the session half an hour early. If you can check your calendar so that we can finish half an hour early and I can jump on that call right after this session. Friday we can stick to the same time.
That
So we're
works.
saying Monday we want to do 7:30 to 11 India time, Sam. That's what you're saying?
Yes, instead of 8 p.m. IST, we can move to 7:30 p.m. IST.
Okay.
Guys, don't get confused. We are talking about India time. Yeah.
Okay. Before
Is
we
that
kind
okay
of
with you,
end
all
the
of us?
conversation- Sorry, go ahead, Sam.
Yes, and Deepak and I should be okay because 19th is a client holiday for us. So we were planning to
Not only
join
I'm
from
not
home.
talking about I'm not talking about one Monday. It would be on a regular Monday call, right? For me. So that's why I'm trying to take everyone's help to reschedule this half an hour early so that we can finish half an hour early.
Okay with me, Sam.
Thank you.
All good
Rest
with
of the
me.
team. Okay. Dindo, Jeda,
Yeah, I'm
June, I
okay
already
with
see
9.
the thumbs up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
no
All right,
problem at
perfect.
all.
Romain,
I'm all good. All good.
all right. Thank you, bro. I'll talk to Chanel and
I think Sam's network
Sam?
broke. His network broke.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, guys. Thank you
We'll be
for
back.
today. Bye-bye.
Okay. Sorry, I need another 5 minutes of your time before we break off. Understand. Tell me one most valuable thing which you learned in the last 2 sessions. What do you recall? Tell me one thing at least. What each of you
No,
recall.
for me is the elevator pitch. I feel like
Okay.
I'm struggling on it. And so I'm gonna work on it. I have my own notes, so that's what I wanted to
Okay.
improve. The elevator
Fair enough.
pitch.
Okay. What about others? What do you remember about what we finished in last 2 sessions?
Having the framework for elevator pitch and handling objections. I think that's the
Okay.
most important.
Okay.
objections and the like one and different customers as well. Very important.
Okay. Fantastic, guys. Thank you. My request would be that I need you to help me with first this feedback, and then I'll give you the Google feedback. I need you to scan this on your phones. And this is a feedback about the content and how did we deliver the session. So you will see my name and you will see the name of the session over there when you scan the code.
Okay,
Can you
Tina,
put on?
can you also send this to us via email, like the usual?
I would request if you have a phone handy and you can finish it before we log off, it would help. Is it okay?
Okay, for me, Pavan, for last two sessions, for me, it's more like structured approach. Though we know, but at times we forget the framework due to a regular, I would say a regular work life, right? Or chasing customers or following ups and stuff like that. So for me, it's more like structured approach and the frameworks that's the thing I have. It's not like we don't know. Most of us, I believe, we know, but this is what it's good to revisit and then taking the structured approach, which is very true. So thank you for that.
Thanks, Sam.
My pleasure.
So, Dindo will have it mailed. But if you have a phone, you can do it. Tina, please do mail this after this for the people who are not able to do it right now.
Yeah, sure, Pawan.
When I say now, tomorrow morning you can mail it. It's already midnight, so I don't want you to sit on your laptop now.
Thank you so much.
I've done.
Okay. If everyone has scanned this and finished, I'm going to ask for a small favor again with this. Most of you, if you have done this feedback earlier, you will not be able to repeat it. Anyone who has not done a Google review for us will be able to do this, but otherwise you will not be able to do it.
Okay. I will finish it, but I really have to go now because I need to go
No
visit
problem.
some sites and I'm running out of time.
Thanks a
Thank you,
lot for your
guys.
time. Appreciate it. We'll meet up again on Monday with the next conversation, which is opportunity qualification. All
Right.
of you
And
have
Tina
lovely
helped
week.
me. Go ahead, Pawan. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
No, go
Thank
ahead,
you,
Pawan.
guys.
No, I was just saying, all of you have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you again on Monday. Over to you, Sam, please.
Sure, thank you. So Tina, help us with the updated invite half an hour early, okay? For every
Yeah,
Monday.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
lovely.
You don't need to send it now. You can send it tomorrow.
Yes.
Yep.
Tina is feeling I'm so blessed today.
So true.
Great. Guys,
Okay, all right. Thank you guys. Thank you,
this
team.
weekend I
Appreciate
Okay,
it.
guys.
delivered.
Take
Bye
care.
bye. Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Hey,
Bye.
thanks everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Bye-bye.
Take
Good
care.
Bye.
night. Good
Thanks,
night. Bye.
everybody. Bye bye.
Bye.
Chalo.